End times. During the earth changes in these end times, or tribulation as it is called, the earth and the physical bodies on the earth are supposed to undergo a change as we move from the third dimension to the fourth and fifth dimensions. On the planetary scale, a massive shift is taking place. Huge infusions of light are coming to the earth plane as the veil of separation and denial are lifting. Earth changes are creating physical changes in your bodies right now. The planet is mutating, and so are the beings on it. There is a transmutation taking place in the very cells of your body. A transmutation is the act of being transmuted or changed or altered in form, appearance, nature to a higher form. Transmutation is the internal change going on inside the body that puts together the combination of parts or chemical elements, groups or simpler compounds, or by the degradation of a complex compound so as to form a whole new combination. During mutation, this new combination may be constructed by the body from diverse conceptions into a coherent whole body that may be different from previous bodies. The physical transmutation change within your bodies is a significant and basic alteration in the body. It may be a relatively permanent change in hereditary material involving either a physical change in chromosome relations or a biochemical change in the codons that made up genes. A codon is a triplet of nucleotides that is part of the genetic code for the body. The genetic code specifies a particular amino acid in a protein or starts or stops protein synthesis, which means putting things together. This is the way the body grows or is destroyed by disease during its particular lifetime. There are many teachings coming down today that speak of mutation and also speak of cellular transformation. Some have asked, what is the difference, and is there a difference? Some entities feel that the word mutation is a word that sometimes alienates a lot of people. It sounds scary to some people. So they use the word transformation or cellular transformation because it seems like a little more gentle word to use. They feel that more people are open to the word transformation. It's more like a gradual shifting, whereas mutation feels to some people like there are going to be some changes that are so radical that this creates more of a fear. And these entities try and stay away from wording and language that is going to create more of a fear, because this then creates a restriction of energy when people are met with words that create that type of experience or reaction. Whatever you call the changes that are taking place now in our bodies, the information that was coded into the DNA of your structure is now being activated. The most concise repository of information in your personal blueprint of your species is found in the cellular DNA of your bodies. Your DNA will evolve from 2 helixes to 12 helixes, or even 14 strands, which correspond to energy centers, or chakras, inside and outside your body. The new type 12-strand DNA was originally in bodies 300,000 plus years ago. Within the human body, cells are light-encoded filaments, fine gossamer threads of energy that carry information. When these gossamer threads are working together like a fiber optic type of cable, they form the helix of your DNA. Imagine that your frequencies are starting to detach from each other, and that where they are still connected, they are just threaded together. They are not so congealed that they create that much matter anymore. What is going to happen then is that the energy that is coming into you is going to start to come in more easily. It is as if the cells have to break apart a bit. This is why so many people are now waking up and remembering. It was predetermined that you would do so at his time. Beings whom have been living in dense physical bodies now have the option of living in wondrous bodies of light. The effects are very jarring in some ways. On the one hand, you'll get physical vibrations that are strange and sometimes feel uncomfortable. Your endocrine system may speed up or slow down, causing various effects on your hormones. You may have a sudden strong feeling and then it'll be gone. You may have an overwhelming memory and you will not be certain whether it is a dream or a reality. You are high-energy transformers, like sponges in the energy sea around you. As more and more light becomes available to you, the intensity of electromagnetic energy around you also increases. Any changes in the surrounding energetic field are picked up by your subtle, etheric body. This body acts as a receiver and as a transmitter of these energies. These changes directly affect your physical body, which is the outward manifestation of the etheric level. These changes will be gradual and will go on over the 7-year tribulation period. They have definitely started. The changes depend on, for many, the level of openness, the level of flow in an individual's life. The orientation for many has been from a linear or mental perspective. This is shifting for many, and a lot of people are experiencing confusion as they begin to reorient themselves into a physical and more holistic perspective. For many people this has been going on for quite some time. As far as a time period of when it begins and when it ends, it really depends on the individual, their level of openness and willingness, and the clarification that has already taken place in their energy field. By this we mean, are they coming into alignment in their physical energy system? Are they coming into alignment with their emotions and the emotional body? And are they creating more of an openness and a flow in the mental body so that they can consciously receive the energies and the frequencies that create the shifts, the transformation? Bear in mind also that all who are on the planet at this time, all forms of life, not just human life but all forms of life, are and will continue to be affected by what we call an increase in intensity of light that comes directly into and around the field of this planet. So even, though those who we may look upon or you may look upon as less conscious or perhaps even totally unconscious of the changes are definitely affected and will continue to be affected. They don't have the understanding that many have who are searching on the path of what is going on for them. Why they are experiencing greater agitation, why they are experiencing that parts of their life are no longer working. Why are they experiencing less control in the mental body than they are used to? There is a great deal of confusion among the masses because until now there has not been a large enough body of clear information to explain in a way that can be understood by the masses what exactly is taking place in this time in history. For there is nothing in your past that can compare to what is currently going on and what will continue to accelerate. What is happening to many of you right now, is that due to the increased energies present, the etheric body is vibrating at a higher frequency. The physical body is then trying to catch up but it hasn't quite yet done so. This results in a speeding up of your molecular structure. Many people are now experiencing this as a quickening taking place within your own bodies. This stepping up of energies is affecting every system in your body. Nerves, muscles, vessels, skin, organs, and glands, as they try to adapt to the new frequencies. The nervous system, which carries those energies throughout the body in the form of nerve impulses, and the endocrine system, which regulates much of your physiological functioning through the secretion of various chemical substances, hormones, may be experiencing tremendous energy overloads as they constantly attempt to maintain a state of homeostasis and balance in the body. This kind of expansion in consciousness during cellular transformation is literally pulling you into worlds that are beyond potential and are becoming real. Things about your world are changing in front of your very eyes. Perhaps the most profound noticeable change is the need that many people have noticed lately for more rest. Is anybody feeling tired lately? If so, you need to continue reading this material. Your body systems are overloaded and Mother Earth's systems are also overloaded. Her body, the mass of herself, functions very much like your own body. Most people do not realize that your Mother Earth actually breathes in and out. People that have been in caves or have been near openings inside the earth can actually hear air whistling in and out of the Mother Earth. In surrendering to the change process going on in the earth and in your bodies, you are releasing your own limited existence, your own limited desires, all that you have held close to you for security and a feeling of nurturing and safety. So much is happening on very deep levels of yourselves, and it is usually occurring in the subconscious. You may feel overcome with sorrow, feeling you have lost something, or that you are leaving something without even having an idea of what it is you are sorry or crying about. As you approach closer and closer to the final experience, called ascension, you will feel yourselves more and more letting go of more things. During the process of cellular transformation, you may see or feel specific physical changes and sensations in your body and in the bodies of those around you, such as the following. 1. Aches, pains and headaches. New aches and pains will appear in various places in the body and then these will disappear. Headaches and sudden shooting pains in the head or eyes may occur, and these may be signs that adjustments are being made in your energies. These adjustments will be attuning you to different frequencies during cellular transformation. The parts of your brain that have been dormant in the past are now being used. This may require some rewiring of brain circuitry, while brain patterns that are no longer functional will be rerouted. As you develop a higher way of thinking and being, you will experience more creative energies and will create deeper levels of meditation. See also changes in body shape as well as energy flow in the body. As transformation occurs, there may be periods when you feel more anxious and irritable than usual. You may also feel restless, headachy, less able to concentrate. You may have an increased sensitivity to people, sounds, smells and environments. You may experience muscle soreness, particularly in the low back, joint pains or poor digestion. When these glands are excessively stimulated, your body is constantly in a hyper state of fight or flight and the body expends resources at tremendous rates of speed. The mutation process that you are presently undergoing has been initiated within the molecular structure of the brain. The progressive cycles of change are introduced to the rest of the body systems primarily through the cerebral spinal fluid and from there throughout the nervous system generally. This accounts for the pervasive sensations of disturbances within the head, eyes, spine and nerves. It has resulted in dizziness, headaches, and pressure in the head, usually experienced from back to front, at other times, from side to side. It also accounts for considerable nervous disruption, sleeplessness and irregular energy surges and drops. Digestion may become erratic and peculiar pains may come and go without warning in different parts of the body. 2. Body cells. The tissue of our bodies is made up of cells. The cells are made up of molecules and this goes on and on until the subatomic level is reached. At the subatomic level, the templates or blueprints are formed for our bodies. The probabilities of what we can do are created at the subatomic level. There are changes being made at this level as the Earth changes occur and as the axis shift occurs on the planet. These changes are due to occur very soon. During this period of an axis shift, past types of behavior and past ways of arranging matter will not be available. At our material level, these changes will appear to be a rearrangement of matter. From a spiritual level, however, these changes relate to the growth of planetary awareness. When these changes happen, the forms of life on the planet will change. The very structure of every cell in our bodies is changing. The changes in your body will occur in the body cells as these cells undergo a gentle infusion of new electromagnetic impulses. The structure of energy exchange and energy transfer is being slowly rewired in the cells, during cellular transformation. This could be the cause of periods of exhaustion as your body goes through radical remodeling and rebuilding. When these changes are observed, relax and move with the changes taking place in your body. After all, you have nothing else to do. You need to spend time in meditation, reading, etc. to relax until the time comes that the changes will eventually stop. We are building new information into the cells of the body and yet it has been said that these changes are taking place naturally. Some have asked whether this suggests that we can reprogram our own DNA, or is this all being done automatically and we don't get involved in it? The answer is it's a little bit of both. The cells have been coded for this time in history, prior to the time of human birth. Many people are finding that they are drawn to a certain place or to a certain person. They are finding that being in that environment, whether with that person or in that physical place, is creating a type of trigger, a trigger in the cellular memory. So in this respect, it is happening automatically. We are following our impulses. We are following our natural motion in life to where the body is leading us and who the body is leading us to. This is creating the firing or triggering of new information. There is a type of overlapping and a blending of many processes taking place as these triggers are activated. Then the new information is activated. This is taking place on a multitude of levels within the body. The more we are in alignment with our body wisdom, the more there is a movement consciously towards that which will trigger that cellular memory and activate the transformation within the DNA. So indeed, you are taking part. It is not to sit back and get onto automatic pilot and everything will happen. To some degree that is so, but also it is the more you are in alignment with these changes consciously, the more you will be the captain of your ship, directing and orchestrating a co-creator of these changes within yourself and within the masses. There are many parts to transformation. It is neither that you are on one side of the fence or another. What this means in biochemical terms is quite mind-blowing. A fundamental renovation is occurring in your house, the body, while you are living in it. Using the analogy of remodeling your home, the workmen strip off the old roof, tear up the old floor, disconnect your old plumbing and turn off your electricity to rewire the home. This all occurs while you are trying to live there. In the same manner, as your body is undergoing the same remodeling, you are trying to keep ahead of the changes and you will feel extremely disoriented and inconvenienced as they occur. The changes in your body house are occurring because your DNA is being restructured. Your DNA contains within it an old understanding about what it is to be here that is deeply focused in individuality. The DNA has the individualized expression of divinity, the individual I am, and it has the wholeness. Now you can conceive of both, but can you yet conceive of what it would be like to be keenly aware of yourself as an individual and at the same time know that you are wholeness? That is what you are working on achieving at this time, whether you realize it or not. The potentiality within the DNA is capable of reformatting to allow for these changes. Universal law provides that the physical form for divine life expression of a species may be altered or reformatted only by those who dwell therein. This means that the DNA of a species of Earth can only be altered through the creative choice of the consciousness that dwells within the body form. What this means for you is that the human DNA that is responsible for every aspect of your physical presence cannot be altered by other beings, nor can it be changed by you from outside of the physical plane. How do you change your own DNA? To change your DNA and to change your structure, you need to change your emotions. You also need to change your thoughts, because to do these two things means to change your biochemistry and your brain chemistry. It means headaches and nausea sometimes. As these changes occur, you will experience dizziness, feelings of spinning and loss of emotional centering. During cellular transformation, your body is a constant flow of discarded proteins and structures. Your cerebrospinal fluid is being filled with discarded mineral deposits. You are literally sloughing off your body and you are rebuilding it. The changes will be very intense and will be very challenging to you during the sloughing off process. You are genetic engineers of the New World species. If you agree with this and you are willing, you must rearrange and rebuild your own DNA. You live in your body and you will change it while you're living in it. Some people have already begun to do this. 3. Changes in body color. During cellular transformation, repigmentation of the body will occur. Many different kinds of unusual marks, round, red, white, etc., will appear on the skin of young people as well as on the skin of older bodies. This is a temporary repigmentation process that will allow the skin to come into its true purposes. The skin is an organ that functions as a bridge between heavy, dense matter of the body and less dense matter of the auric field of the body. Within 25 years, a slight darkening of even the lightest people will occur. This relates to the blood cell membranes being enriched by oxygen, allowing them to move in greater numbers and greater velocity through the capillary system closer to the surface of the skin. 4. Changes in body shape. You are completing a time loop in your spiritual growth which has allowed you to explore some matters in depth. This time loop is now coming to an end and your body is beginning to change shape as you close that time loop. As you come back to your original time sequence, you will go back through what you have been in the past. Some people might notice that their head seems to be trying to expand and many people will have headaches during these times usually associated with pressures from these changes. It will feel almost like someone is trying to force your head into a larger shape. Changes in body shape will happen slowly over time. Currently the changes that are taking place are happening on the inside of the body in the infrastructure in the following places. A. In the cellular system in the blood. B. In the central nervous system. C. In the bone marrow. D. In the brain's patterning, how it is firing and receiving information from God's source. These are the changes that are occurring now and for many this creates confusion because they feel that something is going on but they cannot see it in the mirror. They look in the mirror and they see that they are very much the person they were 5 or 10 years ago. They don't seem to be having any less wrinkles, they don't seem to be looking any more healthy. This creates a bit of confusion because they know they are working so consciously and so hard on their inner path. Yet the changes are slow in coming, bleeding through into the outer body. This will certainly occur over time but it is taking place on the inside now. This is where the base must first be built, deeply on the inside of the body and will come from the inside out. In your future, you will see a greater lightness, an expression of the body, expressing its lightness of being. You may see beings that are experiencing a greater thinning or a lightening of your being. Many persons will be feeling taller. There may not be an actual shift in the physical body of growing taller, but there will be that sense of upliftment. The body is expressing upliftment with a feeling of walking tall and of being lighter with the body. Some people will experience weight change, either losing weight or gaining weight as a result of inner transformation. The body knows how to readjust and reorganize itself because this process is quite natural. This process of transformation has been coded within the cells of the body and is taking place naturally. What people are now learning to do is how to assist what is occurring naturally by being outside, being aware of the foods they are eating, being aware of their connection to the earth and by being aware of the direction their body is leading them. The greater you are aware of this, the greater you can assist what is already going on and you will be continuing at your own natural pace according to the cellular coding for each individual. 5. Changes in the endocrine system and central nervous system. You are already seeing an increase of a weakening in the immune system with the acceleration of the nervous system. There are many new strands of disease, an imbalance, that are coming out in people. More people are experiencing a deeper level of frustration and aggressive agitation that is creating many symptoms in the body, many nervous disorders and feelings of heating up. This comes out with explosions of anger and violence. There is an imbalance in the nervous system which can create many disorders, many types of fevers or any type of imbalance in the brain wave system as there begins to be a readjustment of the way thoughts are set up. You will see many new disorders or diseases cropping up having to do with the central nervous system as there is this sense that a rewiring is going on to accommodate the increase in intensity of light. It is as though someone is putting in a 120-watt light bulb into a socket that previously held a 40 or 60-watt bulb. There is a greater level of amplitude, of power in the energy going, that you are all of the sudden being plugged into. It is creating not only an acceleration but a greater magnification of energy going through your body. This energy is put in or connected through the nervous system. Unless there is a change in the way many people are going through their daily lives, the nervous system will not be able to handle the increase of energy. Some things we would suggest would be a greater contact with the natural world physically by literally putting the feet into the earth and the hands onto the earth. It would also be helpful to be in greater contact with water, such as having water in the home, that is an aquarium, bowls of water or some type of water. This helps create greater balance in the electromagnetic field. This is recommended to help balance the increase of energy that is coming in now and does affect the physical body and its state of wellness. The etheric body acts as a transmitter and receiver for surrounding energies. This takes place via specific energy centers for the body or chakras. Each chakra is directly associated with an endocrine gland and nerve plexus. Because of their close relationship with the chakras, which transmit and receive this energy, the endocrine and nervous systems especially, are now undergoing radical transmutation. The increase in electrical energies is requiring a complete rewiring of the nervous system, while all the organs and glands in the body are being totally restructured. As you take on the body of light, most of these organs and glands will no longer be needed, and will gradually atrophy and disappear. In the meantime, it is important to acknowledge the changes taking place in the body and to support the physical body as much as possible. As more and more light becomes available, the intensity of electromagnetic energy around you also increases. This means that there will be more rapid neurological activity in the body, resulting in higher intensity impulses firing the central nervous system. The nervous system will immediately attempt to dissipate that energy by sending it back out of the spinal cord. If these impulses then fire along facilitated pathways into the muscular system, they could cause muscle tightness and soreness. If they fire into the blood vessels, restricted circulation often results. When these impulses fire into the skin, you may experience abnormal thermal sensations, that is, feeling hot or cold, prickling, itching, etc. If they should fire into the organs and glands, they may inhibit their previously normal functioning. Therefore, we can see the importance of supporting the nervous system at this time as it tries to maintain a state of homeostasis, relatively stable state of equilibrium, in the physical body. The body is trying to catch up with the increased frequencies of the subtle body. One way to do this is to interrupt some of these pathways that the high-intensity impulses are traveling along. Just as someone who touches a live wire is held there by the current until it is switched off, so too will the structures and tissues of the body remain in a stimulated state until these pathways are interrupted, turning off the current. The mutation process is implemented by the central nervous system initiated within the molecular brain structure. The progressive cycles of change are introduced primarily through the cerebral spinal fluid and from there throughout the nervous system generally. During the mutation process you will constantly be sloughing off whole strings or sequences of proteins. Full systems are being discarded by the body and are being rebuilt with differently structured compounds which you receive through water, air and foods that are also undergoing electromagnetic reformatting. You will find fairly high levels of excreted proteins in body fluids such as urine. The body is literally washing away your old body formatting and rebuilding it as you live and breathe and move within it. The restructuring of the DNA means that you will no longer have 4 bodies. You will no longer have many chakras. You will no longer be a layered consciousness. You will contain no spaces, no gaps within your consciousness or in your corresponding DNA. You will have a spherical model with no gaps or separations. Everything within your system, Within your being will have wholeness, roundness. It is an indescribable thing that you will build. As we go through cellular transformation, the period of transitioning from the old dying world to the emerging new world, there will be times when you may feel disjointed, as if your body is out of phase with everything. This will be frustrating for you within your mental and emotional bodies. You may feel less functional, which will occur as you release the old ways and before the new ways have been fully formed. This changeover period will cause you to have a tendency to have lower self-esteem. It will also bring up a variety of survival issues. One may need to use capable body workers to help one in releasing energies. These energies are held in the crystalline matrix within the structures and tissues of your body. When bodywork is done in conjunction with sound, it is especially effective. Connective tissue work will also be useful, as will neuromuscular therapy. Bodywork such as this will help to repattern and open your nervous system, and it will also break down crystallized energy. Cranial sacral therapy, done by a capable body worker, may also be helpful in integrating the energies in your body. As the increased energies are being integrated into the body, some may benefit from chiropractic adjustments, as there may be periods when you are prone to distortions and subluxations of the spine from changes taking place in the body. There are many homeopathic remedies that you may try, as well as gem and Bach remedies that you may find supportive to your emotional and physical bodies. These can be obtained in your local vitamin store. 6. Eating and drinking habits. A. Eating habits. People are already finding a desire to eat in a different way. They are seeing a great shift away from the denser foods, that is meats and heavy proteins, and from foods that are heavy and will stay in the body longer and will create greater density in the body. During cellular transformation, your sustenance will be coming more and more from the light or energy vibration and less from physical sources. This light pervades the universe and also affects changes in body cells during transformation. This can result in changes in eating habits and changes in your appetite. There can also be a completely new arrangement of your intake of nourishment. Heavy or greasy foods cannot be digested because the body is functioning with heavy foods that don't vibrate with your changing body vibration. You will be drawn to the foods that best harmonize with you as a being of light. This means for some people, sustaining yourselves with very sparse diets which will make them feel terrific. For others, the intake of food may be different. You will probably notice physical changes in your body that ultimately will lead to physical healing. Eat as many raw and pure, unprocessed and uncooked foods as you can. This means mostly fresh fruits and vegetables, which results in a basic detoxification diet. You must listen to your own body and eat what is right for you. Your body's needs will probably change rapidly during these times. You may have weird cravings for foods you don't normally eat. You may have a huge appetite one day and hardly be hungry the next. You may experience intense cravings for certain foods, some of which you may not normally eat. What's more important is to stay in touch, moment to moment, with your body as it guides you to the foods and support that it needs. All you have to do is to listen to your body. In addition, you may occasionally experience disruption to the digestive system, resulting in stomach ache, gas, or bloating, partly due to the increased intensity of energy in the third or solar plexus chakra. The fifth, or throat chakra, is also a very powerful energy center, and its physical counterpart, the thyroid gland, is particularly vulnerable to changes in electromagnetic energy. This gland regulates the metabolic processes of the body, and in many cases is trying its hardest to keep up with the increasing vibratory rates. Some of the transmutative symptoms that commonly result are unexplained weight gain or loss, sluggishness, altered sleep patterns, and, again, feeling more tired and fatigued than usual for no apparent reason. More fruits and vegetables will be extremely important to your diets. you will find that many fatty foods will not work in your bodies during these changing times of cellular transformation. Many people have been eating meat which will still be of some importance to them. However, many people will start to let go of these denser foods during cellular transformation. Some heavier grains may be too dense for your bodies as the inner body changes occur. There are some very good nutritional substances that are from nature, that create a balance in the amino acid tract. For instance, your food called spirulina is one of them. Foods that are now coming out that are termed cell foods. These are foods with a high degree of life force and they are very good on an overall general level. We suggest that using these new foods or any types of supplements be done directly through accessing one's own body wisdom. By eating differently, you are also helping to detoxify the earth, its surface and its atmosphere. As you do this, visualize a white light pouring through your body and the earth, lightening the dark spots, and loving all your parts. Cleansing your body will result in a cleansing of the earth. Honoring your body with pure and natural foods, as nature intended, is honoring the earth and the earth's offerings in a way that is without equal. After you cleanse your body, you will begin to strengthen and to heal any of the body parts that were weak or tired. During cellular transformation, the body may require certain nutrients that it didn't need before, that is fats, proteins, carbohydrates, vitamins, minerals and hormones. We would recommend that each one learn to go back inward and to reconnect to the body wisdom and learn to ask and receive from moment to moment as it changes constantly. Then one day you might have needed to have a great deal of carbohydrates, in one form or another. On another day you would need to take quite another kind of food supplement, when your body has, for instance, balanced itself with one type of food, chlorophyll or green food. We would then move your focus to another to create another overall balance. Generally it is important to listen then to the body and to keep current with that information so that you are working on a moment-to-moment and daily level. We encourage each person, and would suggest that you encourage each person, to come into a greater connectiveness and awareness of their own individual body by learning to ask the body and then learning to open to the body wisdom. You should ask your body directly, what on this day do I need to operate at a high level of balance? What on this day can I do to create a sense of flow in my life? If we would give out formulas, people would tend to hold on to that formula and would create a series of boxes as to what they should do. We tend to avoid this type of advice because each person is so unique and what may work very well for one would not create the openness or the flow for another. B. Drinking habits. The quantity of water that you drink will also be extremely important to you during transformation. The water we drink allows the electrum to flow through your body, which is light lowered to a density as it enters the body mass. The more water you drink, the easier it is for the light energy, prana, to enter your body and to move through the physical body, rejuvenating the organs of the body. It would be wise during cellular transformation to drink plenty of water, at least a gallon a day. The additional water allows the light to move through the body faster. Light is an electrical force in our density and the additional water assists the movement of the light. From your perspective, you cleanse your body with additional fluids. The additional water permits the light, prana, to move through your body as the prana brings new life into and through the body. In order for the mutation process to be as comfortable as possible, you will need to keep your intake of water up. If you do not, your body will attempt to retain fluid in order to ensure that the element flow within your system is maintained. Why is this important? It is because, during the mutation process, you are constantly sloughing off whole string or sequences of proteins. Full systems are being discarded and rebuilt with differently structured compounds which you are receiving through water, air and foods that are also undergoing electromagnetic reformatting. In other words, you would find fairly high levels of excreted proteins in such body fluids as urine. You are literally washing away your old body formatting and rebuilding it as you live and breathe and move within. It is quite helpful for people to go into a diet that contains more water, not only water in its pure form, but through the fruits and vegetables as well. This creates a greater lightness in the body and helps the body to reorganize its electrical structure. It is really quite simple, if you think of it. It is more of a movement away from the density and complexities of what you have termed your modern world and moving into a greater state of purity through which you may receive the grace of this transformation. See also sinus and ear disturbances. 7. Energy flow in the body. During cellular transformation in your body, there will be increased energy flow felt mainly in the parasympathetic system of the body, that is lower limbs, legs, junctions along the spinal column, and especially the ganglia where the lower lumbar are positioned, and in the shoulders. Electrical sensations will move up and down the limbs of the body. Some people will also experience sweats and migraine headaches. You will notice increased energies when manifesting a thought. It is good to be cautious with these energies and your thoughts because they will become magnified during the time of transition during cellular transformation. 8. Exercise habits. We have mentioned the importance of drinking lots of water during cellular transformation. It is also important to do more physical exercises, that is walking, jogging, running, hiking, swimming, which will be extremely supportive during the changes. The exercise from dancing also is particularly powerful because many energetic pathways can be cut short and integrated throughout the body with the movement involved in dancing. 9. Eyes. The white portion of the eyes may gradually change color, may become bloodshot and may become slightly darker. In some cases, this may create a slight tinge of rosiness in the eyes or a slight tinge of brown or green. But in most cases the color will be rosiness. This change relates to the increased velocity of blood near the surface of the eyes that can be viewed. The visual field of the eyes will alter and you will begin to view dimensions differently as your physical sight is adjusted as it interacts with the opening of the third inner eye, between your present outer eye positions. 10. Fingernails. More ridges may appear in the fingernails at the smooth light half-moon line at the base of the fingernail. This part of the fingernail may begin to vary and may become rippled. 11. Hair. A change in the hair may occur where the hair is on the body and in the thickness of the hair, which will gradually become thicker over several years. This change will be sufficient so that it will be measurable. 12. Head. As you begin to reformat, things have broken loose, pieces coming out of the tissues in your bodies. In your heads, in your skulls, those who are mutating and even those who are considering preparing for this, there are many mineral structures that are being sloughed off into the cerebrospinal fluid. This material moves into the spinal column, through the nerves and out into the tissue, so that if you recycle this discarded material, you will become very uncomfortable. There may be disturbance sensations within the head, eyes, spine and nerves, that is dizziness, headaches, pressures in the head, usually from back to front and may also be from side to side. The primary place where mutation occurs is in the DNA of the brain. What this means is that certain brain functions are going to be a bit difficult. Your vision will be affected. You're most certainly going to be affected in terms of headaches, to some extent your hearing will be altered, and, most of all, your ability to feel that you have a sharp focus all the time will be affected. Your heads are literally beginning to contain material that is capable of electrically short-circuiting. If you have a sense that you are losing your mental clarity, that certain things are happening in your head, including headaches, that make you feel that you have short circuits within your brain, that is due to the sloughing off of this material. Mood swings are also symptomatic of the body's attempts to integrate more light. There may be moments when you feel wonderful and have a great deal of energy, followed by a sudden crash and depression as you experience the pull of the old world. 13. Hearing. The auditory range of the ears will expand so that you will be able to hear the presently inaudible sounds of God's creation within you and which surrounds you. This change will enable you to have faith in God from hearing the sounds in your ears. Ringing or tones in the ears can also be transmissions from spiritual entities from other dimensions. Information from these sources makes itself known to you at the appropriate time in your particular spiritual walk. 14. Heart. Heart palpitations may be felt at times as your heart becomes in synchronization with the rhythm of the Earth's heartbeat. Changes may also be experienced in the heart muscle tissue, and striations in the heart muscle tissue will begin to show more variations. The tissue will seem to be spreading out as the heart muscle becomes denser. This change will allow the heart to last longer and to create a normal lifespan of 150 years for an individual. The normal pulse rate will increase about 3 to 4 beats over the next 10 to 12 years. You may see a greater constriction around the heart as many people react to the energy of love and light that is coming in greater magnification. More heart attacks or various illnesses will occur where there is restrictive flow of energy around the heart center. This can be avoided with a greater awareness of that energy and a greater openness to the emotions, letting go, not having so much of the emotions held into the body but finding ways for the emotions to be harmonically experienced. The emotions are to be felt, not denied, and the emotions can then create more of a flow and less of a closing of the life force. 15. Hot and cold flashes. These will be felt more by many people as cellular transformation occurs in the body. It is like your engines are being rebuilt and the temperature gauge is being replaced. It is similar to an engine in a car, and this temperature gauge, as it is in an engine, is outdated. So in a way, you are finding that as you are building new information into the body, into the cells, you are redesigning the different aspects of the physical body through this transformation. So as this is happening, there is a greater gap in what is being experienced, a greater experience up and down, a greater experience of upheaval. Much is being tossed around, much that is no longer working and that is outdated. It is being tossed out as new data and new equipment is being gradually introduced and built into the body. This is happening for all beings, whether they are conscious or not. That those who are choosing not to stay on the planet, although they may not be conscious of their choice at all, have decided not to undergo this level of acceleration and change in the body. Those who are choosing to be here at this time during this rapid acceleration and shifting of the physical body, of the physical mind and of the emotional system, are going to make those choices either consciously for many and unconsciously for many. But all will definitely be affected by the energies. All will experience, on some level, a shifting in the body as the body moves naturally to a higher level of receptivity and alignment with its source. 16. Memory changes. More people are now able to tune their consciousness to receive unseen forces or wavelengths from the universe and to use this new consciousness to transform themselves into a new way of being. This new incoming impulses of energy is affecting the cells that compose the mental, emotional and spiritual bodies. People are manifesting, on every level, this incoming light with your whole being. There will be times when you will be inspired with flashing memories, recall of past situations and lives and other realizations. Insights that are eternal and cosmic are beginning to infiltrate your body and to illuminate the human mind in a way that inner body cells will activate. The mental capacity of people will increase considerably during cellular transformation. You may find yourself in the middle of a sentence when suddenly you completely forget what you were going to say next. You may be thinking about something that happened when you have difficulty accessing the memory of the event. As you move into a state of grace during cellular transformation, the harder it will be to reference your past through your memory system. All useless data is being taken from your memory files. In mastering limitation, Past referencing of data was useful because of your acceptance as reality based on your beliefs and prior experiences. Referencing of data from the past is falling away and people will not have to keep the memory alive. 17. Menstrual cramps. Women may notice a lightening of blood flow during menstruation with less flow and less cramping. Some pregnant women will have easier and shorter childbirth with less pain and labor. 18. Out-of-body experiences. There will be more out-of-body experiences as cellular transformation occurs. This experience will also be accepted more by the public in general. It will be accomplished by more people and the experience will become more popular and will become more fun as more people experience it. More out-of-body experiences have already been increasing for many as there is a thinning in the veil. When a being has decided to take on physical form, there was a veiling. As many go consciously on their path and open to receive the greater frequencies of the true multidimensional self, there is greater wholeness and alignment with the soul. The body is going through a process of this effacing of the veil and a thinning, and a gradual release of this protective device is occurring. As this veil is thinning, you will realize that there are no boundaries between your physical self, your higher self or soul self, and your multidimensional being. Many are beginning to experience greater contact with, not only beings from other realms, but with beings of themselves as they are pure energy. For many, this is quite a challenge to begin to experience connection with themselves as they exist beyond time and space as pure energy. But as the veil thins, this is one of the experiences that occurs greater amplification and occurs more often as the veil begins to thin. Now, as far as the out-of-body experience, the spiritual entities are challenging many to include their body awareness and not to leave it behind whenever they travel out of body and wherever the consciousness creates a focal point in their awareness. This may include another dimension such as interdimensional traveling or traveling beyond time and space with the consciousness. It seems now to you that you are not going anywhere. But the consciousness truly does experience and enters into this realm and dimension. It may thereby access that energy and those frequency sets and the patterns and information you wish to seek from beings living in that dimension. This is really not quite so difficult as it may seem. It is a natural skill that again has been shielded against, and many are not quite ready to move into that level of multidimensionality. Many are becoming more interested in going into the consciousness of the earth because there has been a call put out by the earth. Many are unconsciously or consciously responding to the call to begin to work consciously and directly in direct alignment with the earth energy. This will assist both the individual, the mass human experience, and will assist in the transformation and balancing of the earth's transformation or mutation. It is very beneficial for those who are feeling a type of curiosity or interest or a type of draw to this call, to begin to explore how it is that they may travel into and align with the consciousness of the earth. It begins much by a prayer of intent that you truly intend to move into this level of assistance. This is the first doorway that one would go through. And from there, you would need to be open to many surprises, for it can happen, and it can happen quickly for some. They will find themselves in a very deep awareness, in a very deep alignment with the consciousness of the earth. From there, the choices are infinite. 19. Sinus and ear disturbances. Disturbances in these areas are one of the primary signs of cellular transformation. More people are experiencing sinus conditions, that is discomforts, drainage, and headaches. These increased disturbances will continue to occur during cellular transformation. Major changes will occur in the sinus since they function in the body primarily to create balance. These changes relate mainly to the fact that the body has been thrown out of balance during cellular transformation. Your physical body responds to the changes by overreacting to slight stimulation by biologicals, such as pollens, not originating from itself. Flu-like symptoms, sinusitis and congestion, specific aches and pains, and feelings of toxicity may be other reactions you will experience from the increased intensity of incoming energy. When these disturbances happen, the body is reaching a threshold. It will pass beyond this threshold as the body's capacity to handle more light increases. During these times, it will be especially useful to take more baths and to drink lots of water. This will help your body to facilitate these changes more easily. Swimming will also be helpful in this respect since water is very soothing and relaxing as well as being useful in balancing your energy. 20. Sleep and dreams. We are moving into the higher dimensions at the present. This is creating a temporary confusion of time. You will have dreams that are erratic and strange sometimes. You will wake up and feel emotionally confused. Your sleep patterns might be totally disrupted. Perhaps you have slept 8 hours a night until recent times. Now you are struggling to get 6 hours of sleep and don't know why. What we would want you to know is that sleep patterns are going to be very different. You might find yourself sleeping many more hours than usual and having to take naps during the day, then needing very little sleep at all and having an abundance of energy. What you are going to find is that the more light you bring into your body, the less time you are going to need for sleep. What will be happening is that it is not for you to replace this sleep time with third-dimensional busy living. It is important for you to be able to use this extra time for a higher aspect. You will start to see and be conscious of what you are doing, but your unconscious will begin to use this time for greater enlightenment. This is happening because you are moving into higher dimensions. In this new dimension, the experience of night and day is totally reversed. Most people are used to being up and around in the daytime and asleep at night. You are in a power struggle within yourself. It's as if part of you is anchoring into the fourth dimension and is trying to live in one way while the rest of you is here in the third dimension attempting to continue as in the past. Your dreams might seem so jumbled at times because the dream life usually makes the movement in between dimensions before the physical life. Your consciousness is shifting back and forth. You are having a glimmer of that experience in your dreams. Sometimes your dreams are not just great but they are also sequential. Then at other times you wake up and they feel more jumbled than ever. You are going to need to cut down on television and radio usage and you are going to find that even your electric lights are going to start to handicap you, so we would expect that you would start to cut down on those as well. Part of what is going to happen in your world is that there is going to be a lessening of the need for so much electricity and you will want to spend more time in spiritual development. 21. Sweat and tear glands. Changes in the tear ducts and sweat glands of the body will take place during cellular transformation. As to the sweat glands, most people now sweat less than they did about 5 years ago. Most people during cellular transformation will sweat less than they formerly did, but it will be a minor change which will be observable and measurable. As to the tear glands, your tear solution will be slightly denser, thicker and will be composed of more mineral compounds. This change will also be measurable. See also energy flow in the body. 22. Vibrations in the body. Some people are experiencing a vibration in their solar plexus from time to time. They have noticed this vibration increasingly for the past several months. This is part of the changes occurring during cellular transformation. The Earth also is experiencing a vibration from time to time. These vibrations are designed to change the very matter of the Earth's and your substance. The changes are going to slowly at certain etheric components that exist in possibility and probability and that exist within the encompassed objectives of your soul's journey through this planet, which is God's playing field. These changes are going to mix these etheric components in and out of your physical body in the same way that you would dunk a tea bag into hot water to achieve a final refreshing drink. The vibration of your entire body is shifting to a higher frequency during cellular transformation. Some are experiencing many different physical symptoms which can be strong at times or can be very subtle. Within this lifetime, there is more evolution taking place in your body than in the total of all previous lifetimes on this planet. A transformation change is taking place in your body as well as in the earth. The very cell structure of your body is changing, which will allow you to withstand and integrate these higher frequencies of energy. Your body needs to know that this is happening and that it is okay, since it has never experienced being in a light body before in this dimension. As a result, body vibrations may be experienced, and many people may think that an earthquake is occurring during these periods. These body vibrations will occur through a process of induction as the Earth's force couples with the body. One way to balance and move this energy through the body is with physical exercise, that is walking at least several miles a day. Summary. As the process of cellular transformation progresses, you will be weighted down by an erroneous feeling of unworthiness. All the darkness contained within yourself in your head, you regard as your own little sins. These feelings are not your sins, but they are the heritage of all species that you represent. Because of the heaviness and darkness you brought with you when you incarnated to this planet, you could not imagine that you were pure and divine enough. You could not imagine that you were good enough and clear enough as well as bright enough to hold the Christ light in your bodies. You are dealing with immense biological changes, and you also have all the psychological, mental, conceptual, and emotional issues that you inherited when you arrived to deal with as well. You have to deal with many complicated issues in your life, some of which you are not aware of at the present time and are all contained within your body. As you mutate, all of these things are being thrown up by your DNA. You do not have them inside of you because you did something wrong. When things have been coming up from the deep places within you and have not felt good, it is not because you are doing anything wrong. It is because you are the right thing, and the old things inside your bodies have to surface. You have to pull them out, and they will come out of the DNA of your bodies. They will be sloughed off in your body and at the etheric levels also. Past civilizations have made repeated attempts to regulate their conduct, to deal with the issues of conflict and separation and destructive behavior. They developed rules, laws and ways of dealing with the destructive aspect of the conflict developing within their civilizations. They set up laws and lawgivers. Sometimes they also set up a divine force that was capable of evaluating the performance of the people and then dishing out punishments. Sometimes this was considered to be a very mundane part of the society, much like your legal system where you have a judge that judges you. Sometimes it was elevated through a divine force priestly group or a religious deity. Religion has told you that the deity wants you to behave this way. You were told that the deity required you to do this, and if you did not do this, the deity will require to punish you in various ways. When you arrived here, you brought with you a sense that some things were right and some things were wrong. You also brought with you a sense that some things could be good and some things could be evil. Judgment of yourself is not helpful anymore. So you have within you a kind of a father-mother God figure, an old extraterrestrial one. You may even have an extraterrestrial lawgiver, as opposed to a mother or father God. This is one that evaluates because it knows everything, and it knows what is right because it has seen it all before. It is operating out of the past. It's actually woven into your DNA structure. It's part of this material that you need to release, this judgment. You've got a genetic scorecard, and you've got a scorekeeper that keeps ticking off whether you're getting it right or not. Every time you don't get it right, you clench at every level of your being. Every time you get it right, you kind of bloom, except that there's always fear that you won't be able to hold on to this rightness. So you can see that it is time to release that idea of divinity. Judgment is not useful to you. To be joined to the Christ child, you must relinquish the keeper. There is a price for the Christ child, you have to trade in your keeper. But there is another price that you have to pay. You have to give up evaluating your every act, your every thought, your every feeling, your every sensation. Do you think it would be possible that you could have a headache and that would be good? Do you think you could have indigestion or dizziness and that would be fine? Do you think you could hurt someone else and it would still be right? There is constant fluctuation in your energy system that registers when you have done well and when you have done badly. The feelings of being judged causes a certain clenching in your biochemistry and a knotting up occurs within you. That clenching causes a clustering of the material you're trying to release because of the mutation process. Clenching interferes with the sloughing off process and with the rebuilding process going on within you. Therefore, every time you make a judgment of yourself, you sour the pH balance in your body. This pH change interferes with the electrical flow within the body. You also cluster into lumps the disposable garbage in your body, and these are harder to pass out of your bodies. Judgment, therefore, interferes with comfortable mutation, which will create fear. If you plan for self-improvement and you keep catching yourself repeatedly failing in your self-improvement plan, actual fear will occur. This fear may take the following forms. A. You will never get it right. B. You will never measure up. C. You will never be worthy. D. You are never going to get a grip on this process of being good. E. You are never going to get a grip on this process of being right. F. You are never going to get a grip on this process of being spiritual. Each person, in your uniqueness, will be more attuned to certain energies than other persons. The analogy could be made of having an antenna calibrated to receive a particular radio station. Many people will resonate with different wavelengths at different vibrational frequencies than other people. Whatever wavelengths your particular design is calibrated to, these wavelengths are pathways cut in your consciousness. Once you have begun to transmute, change, the energies of those particular frequencies of the universe will take advantage of these pathways to transmute more and more of the same energies to you. It may appear that issues you thought you had dealt with and resolved, have suddenly re-emerged in your life, bigger than ever, with even more intensity and drama than before. It is useful not to identify these issues as being your personal stuff. You need to recognize only that these energies are present and then let them move through you. Know that you are transmuting them for the many who are not yet conscious enough to do it for themselves. You need to understand clearly about the painful acts and the things you have called bad and wicked. If you knew what was really going on and if you understood the essence of the actions, you would understand that they were necessary and appropriate for you to grow and to change. The religion deity tells you there are many things that you must not do, and should you do them, this is sin or a karmic burden on you. I say to you that I have never seen a sin upon this planet. I have seen many things such as 1. Beings acting out their heritage. 2. Beings trying to understand their heritage. 3. Beings reenacting their battles. 4. Beings reenacting their murders. 5. Beings reenacting their betrayals. 6. Beings studying the energy of those things. 7. Beings trying to see a way out. All of the above. I do not see these as sins. I see them as an attempt to understand your task on earth and to work through this task by experiencing what you have come here to change. It is a very frightening idea that there will be no keeper to protect others from you. There will be no keeper to protect you from yourself, and there will be no keeper to protect you from others. Judgments will destroy your physical structure. In the coming magnetic polar axis shift, judgments will destroy your body, such as the judgments that you have made against yourself and all the ones you have made daily in little things. All judgments on anything, such as on food, body aches and pains, clothing, your dealings with others, etc., will affect your body and the mutation process going on within your bodies. These judgments are destroying the balance within your bodies. They are making the mutation process difficult, painful and very depressing as you continue to judge not only yourself but others as well. This is something that you will have to quit doing. You will have to move into self-acceptance of yourself as well as of others in order to create a biochemical and an electromagnetic environment in your bodies that will optimize the opportunity for the body to mutate easily. This then will occur with some balance and with some stability and sometimes with an emotional sense of well-being. This is nothing which is being taken from you during cellular transformation, mutation, without your consent. It is something that is being purged from your system because you are desiring to increase the frequency of your vibration. This is referred to by some teachers as ascension, which is simply increasing the frequency of your vibration. There is greater perception and a greater desire for love and harmony and peace among many people. As their vibrations increase, then the people of the earth must take into their own hands how they wish to construct this peace and harmony as well as this love and this truth. It will soon become evident that in the negotiations between nations and between individuals, in a business sense and in an economic sense, there will be no longer the possibility of one hiding from another. For where they lie, the other will detect it. The people of the earth are becoming far too alert. This is what is meant by increasing the vibration of the earth. There is a divine order to everything in life. It is for this reason that exactly where you are at any given time in life, is exactly where you should be according to the divine unfolding of your consciousness and life.